We getting over this hump together. That's me, Evangelist Angie B., Amazon International #1 best-selling author, mother, daughter, sister, friend to some, entrepreneur. Angie B. is a mental health advocate, a motivational speaker, an ambassador for alopecia awareness, and media personality. Hello, everyone. I am the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B., and I'm honored to be here with you, a domestic violence survivor. She has endured physical and mental trauma and shares her testimonies around the world. Recently named by Contessa's Court, Women in Business 2023, we've been over some humps. And we getting over this hump together. Let's get it started. Hey there, family. It's me, the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B., and I just wanted to come before you for a quick moment to talk about Maternal Matters Favored. Not even to talk about the organization itself, but to just really talk about the heart of its founder. Okay. The founder is Tam Mackroy, and she truly does have a heart for people, parents, and those that are hurting. She truly has a ministry to help those that may feel like they're all alone. And that's why mmfavored.org was founded. I recognize her heart. I recognize her drive, her motivation to get it done and to make a change. I've worked with her over the years, supporting her as she endeavors to be the legislative liaison for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. She and I are both alopecians, and I respect the fact that she will get up and go and get it done, where a lot of other people will say, well, we'll just live with it and deal with it. And mental health is nothing that should be ignored. It should never just be dealt with. It should never just be assumed that it's going to clear up and go away. And so I've been very grateful for the vision that God has given to Tam to bring this nonprofit organization to life. So this weekend, we're going live for 24 hours. I know my dad is wondering, did she ever get enough sleep from the last fundraiser she did? But God always provides. And so, yes, we're going live for 24 hours from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, Mother's Day. We're doing this during Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to be talking to all sorts of professionals. We're going to hear testimonies from all sorts of people that have dealt with perinatal or postpartum mood disorders, mental health, however you want to call it. I always say it doesn't matter how you broke your leg. It still needs to be fixed. It still needs to be cared for. It still needs to have rest so it can heal. And mental health, whether it be perinatal, postpartum, geriatric, in any form, it is ignored too much, and to the detriment of too many. So I encourage you to join us this weekend. There are several different ways you can watch the show. You can follow the YouTube page. Just search for MM Favored. You can follow the Volusia Business Women page. Yeah, Volusia Business Women page on YouTube. You can watch that way. You can search for Angie B Tour on Twitter. You can watch that way. I know that Tam is going to be streaming to a couple different locations. Of course, you can always watch Angie B Productions on Facebook. We'll be streaming there. And I believe we're also going to stream on Angie B's Creations. But however you can get this information, even if you're going to be away and you can't watch us live, please go to mmfavored.org to learn about the Life Skills Program, learn about how you can support one parent for their 5-week program. Make a donation, share it with someone else who can make a donation. Keep Maternal Matters Favored in your prayers, and just realize this organization was founded by someone who truly has a heart for people. Okay, so I better go grab some sleep since I'll be up for 24 hours, but just wanted to pop in and let you know that. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. Please share this video if you can. And if you're watching the replay, please put #replay and what city, state, or country you're watching from. I would love to let parents in the life skills class know that you watched from wherever it was you were watching from. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, everybody needs to be cared for. And this life skills program is not only going to help care for people, but empower them to be able to care for themselves. And we're just honored to be a part of it. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody, and be blessed. I just had to record that earlier today because I was thinking about Tam and how she has labored over getting this nonprofit off the ground. If any of you have ever started a nonprofit, from getting the paperwork done to getting the money to even getting the board of directors, and prayerfully the board don't vote you off of your own nonprofit. It's just so many aspects. And I've prayed over Tam as she has endeavored to get this launched, and I just wanted to record a little something so that I didn't get too tongue-tied once the show started. So welcome to the show, everybody. It's me, the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B, and we are getting over this hump together. I'm getting ready to bring in my very special co-host for this evening, Tam Mackroy, who is the founder of Maternal Matters Favored. That's who I was talking about earlier. And tonight we're going to not only talk about the 24-hour fundraiser that begins this weekend, but we're going to, unfortunately, have to talk about some of the humps of mood disorders and mental health challenges while you're trying to parent, which is a mess. My mama used to say, you raised by crazy, all you know is crazy. And she meant it in a loving way, but it is, it's something to think about, something to talk about. So Tam, come on in. It would be great to talk with you. Congratulations, honey. Congratulations on getting your organization started.
Thank you. So happy to be here, and just thank you for the opportunity to bring more heightened awareness to some of the mood disorders that parents experience, and just balancing life and trying to be that parent. And we're not just talking specifically for moms, because research is showing numbers that dads and non-birthing parents alike are
Mhm,
experiencing, levels of anxiety and depression,
mhm.
and so forth. And so, yeah, this is what we're about. Maternal Matters Favored. Our mission is to provide counseling, support groups, as well as other supportive life services, and one of which is our life skills program, which is going to be starting in June.
So where did the idea for a life skills program come from? I know I was talking with a mother earlier today, and she was like, "Wow, I mean, the whole self care would have been beneficial to me if I had known." So where did that come from, honey?
Well, life skills is has been something that they've been pushing, even in schools, right? And just developing some of these things. And what we're finding and looking at research is that a lot of parents haven't had those opportunities to do those levels of self care, or they don't know how to properly communicate with someone without being at a 10. You know what I mean? Things to that effect. So when we're talking about some of the components of our program, not only is it just communication and teaching a person with the self care, we're also talking about goal setting. And it's not just, okay, I want to do this. It's like, okay, well, what does those action steps look like so that we
Right,
can get to that outcome
right,
that you want to achieve? And
right.
levels of financial literacy. And once more, it's not just about balancing a checkbook, but it's
Mhm.
also about, reframing from overspending, just because you got it right, and
Yeah.
so forth. And then also, one of the things that excite me the most about our life skills program is that we're going to be teaching individuals what it looks like to be a responsible citizen. And regrettably, a lot of times, too often, individuals don't think of registering to vote and actually voting down the ballot being
Wow.
something in a
Yeah.
sense of a responsible citizen. Because when you look at some of the policies and programs that are in place, they are direct outcomes from the votes that take place, and so forth. And so it's like, okay, become informed, and don't lose hope. You know what I mean? Especially as we're getting so many a new additional generations that are able to vote now. We want to make certain you know what
Mhm.
those rights look like.
Yeah. I appreciate what you said during an earlier interview that sometimes you got to pay that ticket. You got to be responsible. You I don't want to look at you and have to say, well, have you paid your bills and you're talking about going to see a concert. I mean, you're right. Life skills. Right, right. You got it.
Yeah,
I got
and just breaking it down for folks, we're everyday people, me and my team, and we make it our business to be able to connect with someone and meet them where they're at. And so we're not going to talk to you up here when we need to make certain that we're here. And I have both my hands out, because this is a supportive
right,
community approach that we
right,
take, and so forth.
right. Right, right, right. I appreciate the questions that are coming in, and I haven't even put the phone number up yet. If you have any any questions that you'd like us to address, you can just text them to 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. Very special shout out to Ms. Fran Cash from Michigan who logged on to watch. And shout out to Dr. Vernessa Blackwell over in Maryland. She's watching, and I am grateful. Tam, so many times people will say that you go through something and it makes you stronger. And then we as Christians take that testimony and make it beneficial for somebody else. What was your personal inspiration for creating MM Favored?
Absolutely. I went through it, right? And so, when we're talking about 21 years ago, these conversations weren't being had. And it was something God laid on my heart back in like 2018. And just really never got after it. But he kept tapping me on my shoulder. So here we are, present day, just once more, wanting individuals to to know that there's folks out there that get it. We're here to support you, to help you. Back in the day, mental health conversations were, not a thing, right? And especially when you were a new parent or about to become a parent, or we see individuals where they had to raise a family member's child, or even individuals that can't conceive and they adopt. There's all
Mhm.
kind of emotions that surrounds a person with becoming a parent. We also see individuals that go through levels of trauma and miscarrying or having stillbirths. And people
Mm.
don't think about that. That's a very
Mm.
shocking thing, because of the fact that here you are prepping to have this child, and then for whatever reason you're unable
Ooh.
to. And so
Yeah.
you're when we're talking about that emotional piece, that depression that can sit in, um, that's something in itself.
I remember going through a training about 100 years ago when I thought I wanted to be a cash register, well, a cashier at a grocery store. I needed a job. I was in college and I thought I could do that. And one of the first things they teach you in terms of returns is, if it's meat or something, we don't return. We don't return. But if it's any baby item, baby food, diapers, just return it. Don't ask for a receipt. Just return it. Just no questions asked. And that was a family owned grocery store that understood that people lose babies and it's hard enough trying to get through that, and then got to find a receipt for a gift of something. I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. That is trauma when you got to go through that. My goodness. What kind of help did you receive when you were going through it yourself?
Oh my gosh. So, I remember my mom, noticed something was kind of off, right? And we got me in with an organization, but the facilitator of the mom program, and it wasn't specifically for perinatal, it was just like teach you how to fold your baby's clothes, and
Yeah.
how to breastfeed. And
Yeah.
my son wouldn't latch, so I couldn't breastfeed. So it was like, that kind of a thing. She was this older white haired woman with an English accent. I remember so vividly. And it was just like we would sit in there and we would look at each other, and it's like kind of a
Can't
thing, right?
even
And
relate.
so it's like, what is this lady? How can she connect? What does she even understand? She got one of those kind of things. And so it's those pieces where I feel very humbled and proud that I've been able to connect with so many providers and clinicians throughout the country, that you speak Mandarin, you know what I mean? You speak
Yeah.
Creole,
Yeah.
what you need someone to talk. Like, what do
Yeah.
you need? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, God has blessed me where I have a pocket of individuals that can meet you where you're at,
Praise
and
God.
so that you can get that help, that support that you need, that you can get the circumference of coping skills to help you press through. Because what we've seen traditionally is individuals making decisions or giving conversations out there that can't even relate. We're seeing that in
Mm-mm.
politics right now, where decisions are being made and so forth and so
Wow.
on, right? So we're not going to touch there, but
Yeah.
um, it's our duty at Favor to make certain that we're able to help that individual, however which way it needs to look like.
Wow. I'm reading the text messages that are coming in, and yes, I'll get to you in just a second. Somebody just said, "This is the biggest hump I ever faced, and I faced it alone." So I'm
Mm-hmm.
responding like, what was it? A miscarriage or a mental illness, or but whatever it was, this is the reason why we do this show, because we don't want you to think you're going through a situation alone. You ain't the
Yeah.
last one. I remember, and don't quote me, but I remember Anita Baker saying that she was retired, 100 years ago. She was retiring from touring because she wanted to start a family, and she had lost a couple pregnancies beforehand. And there was a whole lot of yang 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 in the background, like, oh, women been birthing babies since slavery, and what's the big deal? Just going out there, but nobody tracked the high mortality rate of those pregnancies in slavery. And that was something that Anita Baker touched on. And I appreciated that comment. So many times mental illness is just glossed over because, well, so and so got over it, or such and such, or
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. And I say it
Yeah,
again. I say it before, I say it again. It doesn't matter how you broke your leg, it still got to be fixed. It still got to be
absolutely.
it still got to be strengthened. It still got to be cared for. People with mental illness, in any way, need a support system. And so I'm grateful for your organization. I'm grateful.
Definitely, definitely. We're seeing numbers, regrettably, um, more than 600,000 women suffer from maternal mental health disorders in the United States every year. That's just in the United States. And 1 in 7 women who are pregnant, they go through depression. About 15% of them actually go ahead and get treatment. And then with, these new numbers coming in with regards to dads and non-birthing parents, we're starting to see that that tick increase with regards to them needing some kind of assistance as well.
Ooh,
Because, our men, they're supposed to be strong and you hold it together and this and that, and yeah, they're human too.
and I appreciate when you talk about non-birthing parents, because yes, there are people. Our good friend Teresa Jordan from Triumphant Magazine has a beautiful testimony of her inherited children, her nieces and her niece and nephew, that came to live with her after the loss of their parent, her sibling. And there's more stories like that
Mhm.
I can think of. But I I also want to help people to understand that when I think of a non-birthing parent, I think of like a grandparent or somebody whose child has been incarcerated or hospitalized. And then here you go with your grandkids that you maybe only, see on the weekends or whatever, but now you got to get them ready for school. You got to get,
Yeah,
that's a whole handful.
yeah.
That,
They hit the
that,
restart button.
mhm. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually have a neighbor who is going through an adoption. A 14-year-old is pregnant, having a baby, and
Oh.
so just helping her troubleshoot through some of those pieces there and so forth. Her and her
Mm,
partner unexpectedly didn't plan, right?
mm,
But it's like, okay, well, we got to help this baby with this baby coming on board. And so
yeah.
it's all those type of factors that come into place. And it's about us as a community recognizing them, not shaming them, right? Not shaming
Right.
anyone, and
Right.
making certain that we're doing God's work in the kingdom. I'm not
Amen.
going to go there yet. Not yet.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. That part. I love that you mentioned Teresa, because I know that she's one of our guests this upcoming Saturday, and
Hmm.
slash going into Sunday. And there are so many amazing individuals that have come together on this charity event, this project. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of them, but there's so many of them. So let's go ahead and play the clip.
Okay. Okay. You got it set up on your end.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. And then let me see. I don't see it on this end yet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you work on it. I know we got a couple of things I've got to showcase. So let me do that while you work on your end, okay? Thanks, honey.
Okay.
Save the date, September 14th through 17th, 2023, for the 7th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Weekend Retreat for Alopecia Awareness. Our travel partner this year is Stephanie Fowler. Call her for your arrangements at 470-331-1788. The 7th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Weekend Retreat for Alopecia Awareness. Our theme this year is completion. keeping our faith over the struggle. Log on to boldbeautifulandbald.com for more information. Bold, beautiful, and bald.
I love my daddy. He gives me hugs and kisses when he wakes me up. He helps me make mommy's tea in the morning. He always reads a book to me before bedtime.
I Love My Daddy is a heartwarming children's book about the special bond between a little girl and her father. It follows a day in the life of a little girl and her daddy. Produced for audiobook by NGB Productions.
Narrated by me, Ramona Young.
And narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Angie B.
DJ Shaheem on the track.
A Mother's Heart, an anthology by visionary Teresa Jordan, featuring 9 phenomenal co-authors. This book is created for men and women around the world. It is dedicated to mothers from the past, present, and future. We thank you for your resilience, strength, and unconditional love. We honor you for the countless times you have been problem solvers, held things together, and became a superwoman to many. You are appreciated, and your great work and contributions will continue to be celebrated. Quote, "But Jesus beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." End quote. Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. Our prayer is that these powerful stories will transform your life, creating pivotal moments for you, and also be responsible for leaving permanent marks in your heart. Our prayer is that every story is an inspiration to you going forth. A Mother's Heart, compiled by Triumphant Magazine, published by Triumphant Magazine Publishing, promotional support by Angie B. Productions, and narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B. A Mother's Heart, an anthology.
Aw. Play it again, Tam. That was so sweet. 24 hours of favor. Wow. That's all we can get. Wow. That is perfect.
That
That
is,
is
yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
So many people, I can't even begin to name from all walks. I mean, we have someone that's coming and speaking their truth from miscarrying, someone who's talking
Mm,
about working with children that come from traumatized homes, right?
mm.
Another person is coming from the judicial system and what that looks like. And we even have one of the directors of over the BIPOC Alliance for Postpartum Support International
Mm,
coming through and just talking with regards to what they're doing in combating and next moves and so forth. There's so many individuals. I mean, even you
mm,
know, I do peer counseling for individuals, moms, and who've gone through, postpartum and perinatal mood disorders. And even one of my peers, my little mentees, she's going to be on board talking about her survivor story. So I mean, I'm just blown away because when I put the call out, and it was
mm,
like, well, do you have a story? What are you doing? This is, and I was like, oh yeah, girl,
mm, mhm,
let me tell
mhm.
you. And so
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you don't know until you know, and then when you know, it's like, what do you do? And there's
Mhm.
so many pockets of individuals that are all around the world that are trying to do something. We have a person that's going to be coming in from Kuwait. It was like, let me tell you what's going on. So I'm very humbled and excited that these group of individuals said, yes, let's talk shop.
Mhm. Yeah. So again, the broadcast starts this Saturday, May 13th at 10 a.m. We're going to be broadcasting for 24 consecutive hours, bringing you live interviews, recorded testimonies. I got a couple of inspirational music videos to kind of throw in there. I patterned these fundraisers after the old Lou Rawls, Jerry Lewis telethons. Tam is too young; she don't remember them, but they used to be like over Labor Day weekend, raising money for sending children to college and some of the health care. But because these people were famous, Jerry Lewis and Lou Rawls, they could bring in folks to just do a song or do a concert or do something to entertain you while they tugged on your heartstrings to make a donation. And so that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. We are asking people to donate. We're asking people to pray. We're asking people to share the information. Tam, I love what you said about how your mom saw something and knew it wasn't right, and she took you to seek help. Can you imagine how many people don't have somebody that could have, recognized?
Yeah. Yeah.
We want you
Or
to
that
use
saw
this
it and
show.
nothing was done.
Right, right. So use this show, send it to somebody that you think might be in some trouble, and
Yeah.
then yeah, let's see if
Regrettably, and so we're talking about 2+ decades ago, and of course my story is not brand new, but regrettably, even in seeing, that there was a need for something, it wasn't that was able to save me. You know what I mean? Because I spiraled. You know what I mean? And in fact, I will be dropping chapter 1 of my book, in which I talk about where my perinatal and postpartum mood disorders took me, and how it became a hurdle after a hurdle, and
yeah.
my road to recovery and so forth. It was only by the grace of God. It wasn't because I loved my baby, not because my mama and my daddy told me to, right? Kind of a thing, right? But it was me totally surrendering it all. And there's so many different moments, and it all, regrettably, it surrounds mental health. This
Mm,
is just a pocket of mental health, but overall, mental health, mental illness is real. And it's time that we have these conversations. It's time that we have opportunities to help individuals so that we don't see repeated cycles. And so with us we do support groups, we do one-on-one counseling, and us starting this life skills program, we just want you to know that with your donation, you can help with the sustainability of this program, right? This is your chance to invest in underserved, underrepresented individuals, right? Because a lot of times, when something's going on, we'll say weld oil machines or different programs and policies don't drill down, right? They don't drill down the rooter to the tutor kind of thing. And so individuals are just shuffled into mass type of programs without it being once more that
here, take this pill. Here, do mm-hmm.
Exactly, right. It's not that fit. It is not going to get that ingrown hair out, right, and so forth. And so we have services that are specifically focused on this population of individuals, and we're here, and we want to raise awareness, and we want to make certain that we're able to cultivate better mental health relations for folks to have for themselves, which kind of offsprings into them having it for their families, and it offsprings into the community. It's a trickle effect. It's not siloed.
Right. I'm gonna pop this on the screen so you can talk about it a little bit. Some of the imaging that you created as to why we're doing this. We, like you said, just a small donation of $35 will allow a parent to have access to the life skills. I love what you put here. Support groups. I spoke with a woman earlier that said she would just love to have a perinatal partner, just somebody her age, maybe in the same situation. So, and I guess you can find that in support groups, counseling services you talk about, and then community assistance referrals. That is powerful. It's powerful.
Absolutely. We know that we're not the one-stop shop, but in creating community partnerships, we've been able to refer a person over to someone who's going through housing, right? Housing identification. They need housing. This is something that's weighing heavy on their mind, or, opportunities for employment. So we've partnered with a few employers, who get it, and they're willing to go ahead, and if they have that job availability, give a person a shot. That's something that can bring a person down if they're trying and they're still getting told no because maybe they don't have the education level, they don't have this, or they don't have transportation. This so many if they don't, right? It's time for us to get back to humanistic approaches to helping and doing for each other, and that's what it's all about.
And somebody just sent another text. They wanted to know more about the Life Skills program, so I'm popping this up here. You say it starts June 5th. And it's a 5-week program. Okay. And do you go through all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, all these 5 steps in one class, or like is the first?
No. And so we keep the classes. It's 6 people max per 5-week quarter, right? We want to make certain that we are able to have that intimate type of setting with individuals and be able to answer questions and so forth and so on. And these are some of the topics, but there's going to be so many variations of topics that are taking place. And it's one topic per week. There's actually going to be some homework. And also at the end of the program itself, a person is provided with a certificate of completion. We want to make certain that we're rewarding individuals just for taking that little step that no one may know, you know what I mean? But it's something important to them. A lot of times, too often when I'm counseling individuals, I tell, what are you doing to reward yourself? You know what I mean? If you get 5 cookies and put your feet up for 10 minutes, once you put that baby down to sleep, then take it as a win. That's a win all day long. All right. And then with community referral assistance pieces as well. So that's that adult wraparound process that we have with connecting once more with different organizations that may be carrying out the services that we don't carry out. it's all a community partnership.
Wow. And then this last slide, the pictures are riveting. You know, how many of us have been that father in the middle, or the mother?
Mm-hmm.
How many of us want to see that happy family down there at the bottom, but they realize that may not be them?
Yeah.
I applaud you for using this type of imagery that so many of us can relate to. I do applaud you for that. I do.
Thank you.
It's tragic. Again, we are going live for 24 hours. 24 hours this weekend. Our charity event, the 13th through the 14th, and we want your support. Now, say your business is taking off and you've got a little bit of an advertising budget, you can show your support by sending us your commercial. We'll air it on the show. Your donation for the commercial airing will go towards the fundraiser. Okay. Say you're an organization and you don't have a commercial, but you've got a nice ad for an upcoming event. We're going to have a flip book, like a souvenir directory like you get, but this one's gonna be on the website, and you can make your money work for you twice. Use your advertising budget and be showcased before our global audience, and then get a charitable donation receipt for what you spent.
Yes, we are a 501c3. Uncle Sam has put his stamp on it.
That's how you make your money work smarter and not harder. And that's definitely how you can show your support. Definitely. Listen, Dr. Vanessa Blackwell joined us earlier, so I got to give her a quick shout out. She is looking for authors, pastors, ministers, coaches, poets, business women, and men. She wants you to write an inspirational word, a devotional, or a prayer to help inspire and restore joy in someone's life. So we encourage you to contact her. For our visually impaired audience, the number is 240-270-1522. And you can also send an email to bestsellingbookstrategist@gmail.com. If you didn't get all that, don't worry. Just shoot us a message and we'll get it to you. Now, we are also launching our virtual summer writing series, Youth Entrepreneur Author Program. For registration information, send an email to I'm an author @gmail.com or call 407-914-6519. 407-914-6519. Is for any student. Yes, I do have a college student that has enrolled. Any student that wants to express themselves through writing. We have a series of writing opportunities for them to be expressive. And then once their writings are all compiled, we create an audiobook for them, just like we did for the authors of Emerging from the Curve, the elementary school students in Michigan. We have partnered with a publisher that will take the book from audio to print. And then we're going to be teaching the students how they are now entrepreneurs because they are authors. Tam talked about how she's going to be launching her book this weekend. So when you are an author, you need to know about how to keep track of your money and inventory and sales. And so we're also launching that program this summer. I want to thank you for watching the show tonight. We've got just about 15 more minutes before we're finished. We're Getting Over This Hump Together was inspired by a strong black man. and has been made possible by the sponsors, the supporters, the prayer partners, the people that check on me and remind me that I've got to take care of myself first before I can try to take care of anybody else. And I think that's one of the things that I always like to share when we're talking about Mental Health Month or any kind of life change that could throw you off balance. A pregnancy could throw you off balance, losing a baby, getting married, getting divorced, any of those life changes can throw you off. And so we don't want you to feel like you're all by yourself, because you're definitely not. Definitely not. Shout out to Maisha Barnett of Barnett Publishing for watching tonight. She's over in St. Augustine, Florida. And we did hear from Tracy Etheridge, runway model diva. We have had her in her prayers since she lost her father. And again, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, Tracy, don't let anybody tell you it's time to go back to work. It's time to get over that. You know, he lived a good life. He in a better place. No, you grieve as long as you need to. Don't let nobody tell you how long. Jesus will tell you how long, right? We love you. And we're here to support you. Good evening to Denise Nichols. Good evening. Thank you for watching. I pray that there's something in the show tonight that can educate and encourage you and allow you to share it with somebody else. So, all right. So, Tam, back to you. Tell us a little bit more about some of the people that are coming on the broadcast this weekend and their backgrounds. And
oh my gosh, just an assortment of individuals. We have CEOs, we have doctors, we have pastor, this individuals coming from all angles just to speak their truth with regards to this silent crisis. That's what we call it. It's a silent crisis because, once more, life is life. You keep it going, you move on, and it's like, I need to throw a flag on this play, right? And so forth. And so, there's so many individuals. And I mean, we're talking about 24 hours and we have a good selection of individuals to span throughout the program. I'm so humbled and appreciative again. So if you don't have anything to do, you don't necessarily have to watch all of the 24 hours, right? But tune in for a couple of hours once more. We're going to have some giveaways, have a slew of individuals as well, right? And we're going to be providing knowledge. We're going to be raising awareness. We want folks to understand some of the signs and symptoms of this, right? So you may or may not have gone through it or be going through it, but maybe you see something in another person. And you can go ahead and touch them on the shoulder and say, hey, let's see what we can do to help you. You know what I mean? And that's what we're supposed to do once more. I can't express that enough. It's not always about us. God provides us favor so that we're able to do his will and his work here in the kingdom. And so we need to make certain that we're looking out for other individuals. Of course, we're going to put our oxygen mask on first.
Yep.
It doesn't cost you too much of anything just to kind of be your individual's keeper, right? I don't know.
And speaking of giveaways, I do have one that came from the Moms in Ministry stash. The Moms in Ministry stash has the Strong Moms Pregnancy Planner. And it's a cute little book. It's got these little tabs up here.
Easy.
And it's got this little Ziploc in the back. It says, be ready for whatever, whenever, wherever. And it's just a cute look. Motherhood, bring it on. Everybody's, smiling, of course. My official baby supply list and baby names. And so from the Moms in Ministry. You can search for Moms in Ministry on Facebook. We received this, and we're going to give this away during the broadcast. So I've already got the postage and the envelope ready to put it in the mail. And as much as these little tablet, first trimester, second, third, preparing for the baby, it doesn't say nothing about baby blues or when baby, it doesn't say nothing about that. So, well, after the baby's born, notes, circumcision. So how was it, Mom, in terms of labor and delivery and the dad's eye view? It's got pictures of what the baby probably looks like in utero, but there's nothing in here about when you can't get up or when you're all nothing. So I may scribble some notes inside this book before I send it off to you. I may just do that. So
That's such a great point. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They don't
yeah.
talk about that, right? When you don't want to brush your teeth, right? You don't want to hold the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had someone to attend the support group, and she was in her 50s, but she went through postpartum depression over 30 years ago, and you could see that hurt was still real. Like she never got anything as far as assistance and treatment for it. And she spoke, with regards to wanting to kill her baby because she didn't want her baby to go through the same trauma that she went through in her childhood. And so when we're saying that we have generations upon generations of individuals that have been just dealing, and not really dealing, but just dealing, it's time that we go ahead and we make some changes. We need to be the change that we want to see in our communities. I say that all the time, and I stand by it.
And I'm glad you brought that up because somebody sent in a statement and said we should not be prosecuting parents for killing their children. I mean, I hear what you said. I hear it. It makes no sense to me why mental health is not addressed more aggressively when we're looking at prosecuting someone for it's a lot. It's a lot to
It's a
think about.
lot. It's a lot to unpack. We definitely can't do it in this hour. And I promise you, even 24 hours of favor won't give us enough time. We have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do as a nation, as a world, because this affects individuals all across the world. Moms, dads, they're speaking up. We have celebrities that are now coming forth. We got to make some changes.
All right, so all you business owners, we do have advertising available during the 24 hours. I'm putting out a challenge just like I did in January when we did our 24-hour fundraiser for sickle cell awareness. All my authors out there, this is what NGB Productions will do. If you make a $50 donation, which basically covers one person getting into the class, a person and a half. If you make one $50 donation during the fundraiser, NGB Productions will give you a free book trailer, a free commercial for your book. Okay, so you make your donation, send us the receipt, and we'll get it started for you. We had several authors last time around who took up that challenge. And so, yeah, I know Dr. Vanessa Blackwell is doing something special for her next book. So maybe if maybe she'll jump on and be a part of the challenge too. Come on, let's challenge some people. Let's see which sorority can raise money. Let's see which fraternity can do some pledging. And again, our goal is to raise $1,000. And I know we've got in a little bit, ahead of time, but this is still our goal. Our goal is still to raise $1,000 during this 24-hour period. And like Tam said, $35 will help one parent to be able to
get some access to a class, and sometimes that's just all they need. just with regards to boosting their morale and gaining some life skills, some tools. These are tools that we're providing individuals, and we're opening a level of a kind of like a tribe, right? We're a community, and they have someone that they can go ahead and touch base with. That's what it's all about.
Amen.
Very excited about this opportunity. Thank you so much, Angie, to you and your production team, just coming through and just being able to support us in this moment in this time, because we're a brand new organization, right? We haven't been around that long. We're actually in our second year of incorporation, so it's very exciting to us. And I don't want to let all the surprises out the bag, but tune in. You're going to be pleasantly surprised by everything that's going to take place.
Good. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. You are in for a treat. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Okay. We're going to let you guys get out of here. Also, you saw the commercial earlier for A Mother's Heart by Teresa Jordan. I'll have another gift for you if you order the book and make a donation to mmfavored.org. So that'll be great. Tam, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I appreciate my Beehive interns in the back. They got me something to eat right on time. They got me something to drink, and they got my little sidekick, my little Alaskan Husky Togo in the back, keeping me company. Because anything you need to keep your mental health under control,
Listen, just little things. They call support pets for a reason, right?
Woo, that's what it's all about. All right, everybody. If it's the Lord's will, we'll be back, and be good to each other and yourself. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Tam here, coming to you from Favored. Just reaching out to let you know about our upcoming inaugural fundraiser, 24 Hours of Favor. And so for 24 hours, we're going to be broadcasting to raise funds for our Life Skills program. It's a 5-week program in which we provide services to parents that have perinatal and postpartum mood disorders. So we're talking about anxiety, we're talking about levels of depression, we're even talking about forms of psychosis that sometimes take place in these individuals' lives. And what we do as a community, taking a community approach, we make certain that we let these individuals know that they have a tribe in which they can turn to help support them in their walks of life as they're pressing through. Won't you make it your business to tune in, join us, and conversations, even possibly pledge, right? For $35, you can send someone through a 5-week program. We hope to see you then.